Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. Today we have the 2014 WWE DVD Collection. So this is another 12 pay-per-view year in WWE. This would be the birth of the WWE network as well. So we wouldn't see many network specials till the following year, so that was okay. And WrestleMania was still a 4-hour show. So let's get into this with the Royal Rumble 2014. So Royal Rumble 2014, I believe, was in Pittsburgh. Could be wrong though. Pittsburgh. They did a lot of Rumbles in the PA area around this time. I actually really like this cover a lot more than the previous years, where it's more scrambled up. This would be known for CM Punk's last WWE match, being involved with the Royal Rumble match itself. Really cool stuff here. We would see the return of Batista, which eventually resulted in, Punk's frustrations. I thought this was a decent event. They recently unified the WWE and World Heavyweight Championships. And here we had Randy Orton versus John Cena. We had Brock Lesnar versus The Big Show. Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt. And Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the Royal Rumble. Fans went crazy, booing Rey Mysterio out of the building. And Batista was your Royal Rumble winner this year. Next up, we would have Elimination Chamber, the final Chamber pay-per-view for a couple of years. They wouldn't bring it back until 2017. I like this pay-per-view, actually. We had Randy Orton, the unified, whatever the hell they were calling it, World Heavyweight Champion. We had Cody Rhodes and Goldust going on their run as tag team. New Age Outlaws versus the Usos. Titus O'Neil versus Darren Young. The Wyatt family versus the Shield. That was one hell of a match. It's one of the only times we got a "This is awesome" chant before the match even began. Randy Orton did retain the title leading into WrestleMania. Next up, we had WrestleMania 30. I thought this was another really good WrestleMania. I really like WrestleMania 31 as well. And then it seems like they just went downhill very quickly. 32, 33. 33 was decent. 34 was good. But, I always say, less is more, especially with these bigger shows. This one only had 7 matches on it. Here we have Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte being involved with Triple H's entrance. It's one of my favorite matches, Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. We would see the end of the streak, the return of Hulk Hogan. Awesome segment between Rock, Austin, and Hogan. Daniel Bryan winning the World Heavyweight Championship. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. I also have the Blu-ray here. I always thought that Bray Wyatt needed that win with a lot of other people. And really good Hall of Fame class this year. Lita, Paul Bearer, Mr. T, Warrior, Jake the Snake, and Razor Ramon. This is a really good WrestleMania, like I said. The prior few years were okay. 27 and 29 could be some of the worst, but 30 and 31 are among the all-time great WrestleManias. And then Extreme Rules 2014. We would see Kane versus Daniel Bryan, which was not a really good match. The Shield versus Evolution took place here. Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Sadly, Daniel Bryan's reign came to a screeching end when, he was battling neck issues, concussion issues, all kinds of things, and he would be out for the better part of a year. Payback 2014. Really like this cover. Very simple, but really cool. This would also feature the Shield versus Evolution once again. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt once again. And Daniel Bryan choosing to give up the World Heavyweight title. Looks like we had Cesaro versus Sheamus. And we had some build up to the Stephanie and the Brie Bella stuff. Money in the Bank 2014. Another pretty good show here in 2014. We got a triple spoiler cover pretty much with John Cena would end up winning the WWE title for a 15th time, I believe. Rollins winning the Money in the Bank. Reigns being pushed very dominantly. So since Bryan vacated the title, they put the titles up in a ladder match here. Honestly, I can't remember who's in the match, but I believe it was like an all-star ladder match. You got Bray Wyatt, John Cena, I believe Orton was in there. Sheamus, Cesaro. This was a really good Money in the Bank. We also had the Usos here as tag champs. Stardust, Goldust. And the next night, or after Payback, Rollins turned on the Shield, joining up with the Authority. Battleground 2014. Another subpar show. I never really liked the Battleground name or pay-per-views really meant anything to me. We got the Wyatt family versus the Usos, Jericho versus Wyatt, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, and John Cena, Roman Reigns, Kane, and Randy Orton in a fatal 4-way, and a 20-man battle royal who will be the new Intercontinental Champion. So, Battleground was okay. SummerSlam 2014. Another spoiler cover, double spoiled. Stephanie versus Brie Bella and Brock Lesnar decimating John Cena. 16 Germans, 3 F5s, something like that. Becoming WWE Champion. Now, at the time, I was okay with Lesnar winning the title, but then he didn't show up for a few months, and then he didn't show up for another few months, and I was so sick of Lesnar's reign. It was kind of a disgrace. We had Ziggler as the IC champ. Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton was good. Ambrose and Rollins, I thought they were doing a good job. I thought that could have been a lot better. And that was a lumberjack match, which I've never been a fan of that. Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella. We had RVD make a brief return here versus Cesaro. Night of Champions 2014. Never really liked this cover. And we would see a new WWE Championship unveiled with the network logo. So we had Brock versus Cena once again. This time in a more competitive match. We had Rusev being heavily pushed. Goldust and Stardust as tag champs. Ambrose and Rollins once again. And I'm not sure if that was a one-on-one or what it was. But Ambrose and Rollins really seemed to have a lot of matches in this 2014 year. Not sure why they saved Rollins and Reigns, because I think they could have had much better matches as well. But Ambrose and Rollins, I think they did a decent job. I think just too much of it. And Ambrose never really got his just due return match. I think it was one-sided. Rollins always got the win. And here we have Ambrose and Rollins again, this time inside Hell in a Cell. They main evented the show with Rollins and Ambrose. I really like that Hell in a Cell match. And we also seen Orton versus Cena. Again, we started the year with Orton and Cena, and we're ending the year with Orton versus Cena. So Cena and Orton, there's no WWE champion. Lesnar is MIA. This was, I believe, for a title shot somewhere down the line, which is why I believe Cena got a match at Rumble 2015, if that makes sense. Goldust and Stardust were some of my favorite times here in 2014, early 2015. That theme song was just awesome. I know Cody Rhodes has said he hates that run, but I liked it. The two cell matches I actually liked this time. We had AJ Lee as Divas Champion. And yeah, Bray Wyatt makes his return here in 2014, targeting Dean Ambrose. So it never really made sense why Wyatt attacked him, but they did it anyway. Survivor Series 2014, another really good show. They were trying to get rid of the Authority after, over a year straight here, starting around SummerSlam 2013. And we would see the big debut of a man called Sting. 13 years later, Sting finally decides to sign with WWE, making an epic debut, dropping Triple H on his head. And I love that cover there with the little scorpion on the spine. That is just epic discard. It was so awesome to see Sting. We had a big 5-on-5 tag team match. The Authority versus, I believe it was supposed to be Team Foley, unless I'm getting my years mixed up. Or it was Team Ziggler or whatever it was. And whoever sided with Cena would be fired. We also have Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. This was a good show overall. Really enjoyed it. And finally, TLC 2014, Tables, Ladders, Chairs, and Stairs. Got Cena versus Rollins on the cover. This was a decent show, I believe. Ziggler and Luke Harper actually had a hell of a ladder match. Ambrose and Wyatt in a tables match, or a TLC match, actually. We had Eric Rowan versus Big Show in a stairs match. And Cena versus Rollins in a tables match. So yeah, if Cena lost, he would relinquish his #1 contendership, which he faced. They both ended up facing Lesnar anyway at the Rumble 2015. So Cena won, and then Rollins still got inserted anyway. So there we have the 2014 pay-per-view collection. Let me know your thoughts on this year, some of your favorite moments and matches. As always, we'll talk to you later. Peace.